This is the Tech Phantom, and welcome to episode 14 of the Chronicles of Conan in Lordran. In the last episode, Conan made quick work of Seth the Scaleless, and he came across a very peculiar item, a crystal golem at the entrance to the Duke's archives. Had in it a broken pendant. Conan didn't know what to do with this item, but he thought it was important and he decided to follow the trail and see if he could find where it would lead him. Perhaps it was a magical item, or perhaps it belonged to someone important, someone that might even pay a reward for it. He had first encountered the strange crystal golems a few episodes ago in Darkroot Basin. He decided to head back to Darkroot Basin to see if the mystery of the broken pendant could be solved. He had done battle with a large amber crystal golem. That golem was the living prison of Dusk of Elysial. Perhaps the broken pendant belonged to Dusk. At any rate, the fact that both crystal golems were used as prisons or as containers for something within them made Conan curious, and he decided to travel all the way back to the spot where he had fought with the crystal golem and he had freed Dusk. His hunch had been correct. In the area where the crystal golem had first appeared, there was now a portal. This portal was strange and fascinated Conan, extended a hand to reach it. Conan was not prepared for what happened next. Out of the nebulous portal, a giant hand with eyes in it came out and grasped Conan within its callousy fingers. Conan awoke next to a bonfire. He had a sense of deja vu, as if he had been in this area before, but yet he couldn't recognize it. The foliage was different, and unlike anything he had seen before in Lordran. He burst through the fog gate and was immediately attacked by the sanctuary garden. This was a very majestic griffin, part ram, part bird, and part snake. It had small eyes that shine red, and the beast attacked relentlessly, on the ground and on the air. It had a scorpion-like tail, which Conan felt sure could poison him instantly. And the beast could also take to the air and pounce on his enemies or spew lightning from its mouth. The beast attacked relentlessly and also used his wings to push air in front of his enemies, knock them back, and stun them. This was the opportunity that Conan needed. He dodged the wind attack deftly, and with a couple of blows, finished the griffin. Conan felt a little bit of remorse. Yes, this beast had attacked him, but there was something noble about it. It was almost as if the beast was protecting or guarding this area and preventing anyone from entering it. Nonetheless, Conan had to figure out where he was. The sense of deja vu and having been here before overtook him again. Everything was familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. He saw a curious character off to his left.
Oh, look at this one. From what faraway age hast thou come? Thy scent is very human indeed, but not intolerable. Ah, Princess Dusk's scent.
Incredibly, it was a tucking mushroom. Her name was Elizabeth, and she claimed that she was one of Dusk's godmothers and teachers. And she also claimed that Conan was now in the past, and not in his true time.
Couldst thou once more play the savior? Thank you.
Elizabeth asked Conan for a pledge to once again free Dusk, who had been captured by a primordial human.
I am one with the sorceries of Urasil.
Well, Conan had saved Dusk before. He would be glad to save her again.
The flames guide thee.
The tucking mushroom amused him. She had a soothing voice, and he felt like he needed to decipher the riddle of this place before continuing his search for Lord Wynn. When Elizabeth mentioned that he had been transported to the past, things started to make a little bit more sense to Conan. Was this Darkwood Garden and Darkwood Basin, but in the past? Is it possible? Have I been transported to the past? Well, Conan had been in many predicaments, and he had always been able to see through them. He would face this like another one of his adventures, with confidence and with a firm two-handed grip on his sword. He continued to explore the area. It was lush and verdant with vegetation. He came across a couple of scarecrows that reminded him of the demonic foliage in Darkwood Basin. A black dragon flew over a bridge, and Conan quickly ran through its legs and out of the way. Conan had fought a black dragon Magnus in his own time many years ago. This black dragon was nothing like Magnus. It was much bigger, and it only had one eye. A curious beast. Thinking about what Elizabeth said again about time traveling, Conan remembered his old foe and arch enemy, the wizard Tuthamon. Tuthamon was the only one, or the only wizard that Conan had ever encountered that was powerful enough to reverse the course of time and time travel. Perhaps Tuthamon was here as well, and he had been involved in transporting Conan to the past, where maybe he was a stronger wizard and he felt like he could once and for all kill his arch enemy Conan. Well, if that was the case, Conan would welcome the challenge. He had never been able to have a hand-to-hand, face-to-face confrontation with Tuthamon. The circumstances had always prevented it. Tuthamon surrounded himself with protectors and soldiers and used mind-control tricks to escape just as Conan was getting ready to confront him.
And dragged off to the past.
Conan met
Yes,
a well-dressed merchant,
exactly what happened.
Marvelous
to me.
Chester.
We are both strangers in this strange land, but at least now there are
Conan did not appreciate Marvelous's sarcasm, but Chester did confirm to Conan that they were indeed in the past. Chester claimed that he too had been transported through the portal and into the past.
Did you happen across Knight
What a
Artorius,
curious place.
the legendary abyss walker from the old?
Conan felt even more
Well, if you haven't,
sure
it's just as
that
well.
he had
He's
to
a
explore this
colourless
area
sort,
thoroughly
if you ask me.
and find out why he had been
So, what did
taken
that
into the
giant mushroom
past.
make you do? Not that I care. It's none of my business.
He also felt the sense of duty since he had pledged to Elizabeth that he would once again
I've little to
rescue
talk about,
Dusk.
really. Oh, you know me. What do I know? So long.
Chester mentioned Artorias, the Abyss Walker. Conan had heard stories of Artorias. Artorias was a renowned sword master, almost invincible because of his strong greatsword, but more importantly, because of his poise. He was always graceful under pressure, never folded. And to the contrary, in battle, when pit against his enemies, they were the ones that folded as Artorias pressed his attack silently but deadly. Conan continued to explore, and he found attack dogs. These were reminiscent of the attack dogs in the lower Berg, but they were different. It appeared that this place was indeed the past, and was indeed Darkroot Garden and Darkroot Basin. This was the land of Dusk. This was the original place of Dusk. This was Elysial, but in the past. In Conan's time, when he had been in Lordran, the place had been corrupted by the dark, and it was no longer the lush and green Elysial, but it was the dangerous Darkroot Basin and Darkroot Garden. Conan had explored the area, and he only saw one path forward, and that was through a very large fog gate. The fog gate led into a coliseum Conan was reminded of his time as a fighter for hire. He had started fighting in small arenas. He had been undefeated. His myth as a fighter and mercenary had grown, and he had ended up fighting to the death in the largest of arenas, gigantic coliseums all over the world. As he traveled from arena to arena, his masters would always make sure that Conan continued to study and to increase his skills with the sword. For his own part, Conan made sure that his mind grew like his skills in the sword. He talked philosophy with his teachers. It turned out that most sword masters were not only masters of the sword, but they were also very wise and masters of history and philosophy. As Conan became better with the sword, he also became wiser, and he learned quite a bit about war and strategies from his teachers. Well, it was time to put all of those skills and all of that wisdom to test. He knew that Artorias would be the most difficult foe he will have encountered. Artorias was supposed to be unbeatable in a sword fight. He was like a god to the denizens of Lordran, and he was the only hero that had ever been able to traverse the abyss and come out of it. Conan thought this as he approached the gate and his confrontation with Artorias. He prepared himself and took a bold step forward. Inside, he saw Artorias killing some hollows. Artorias was visibly injured. His left hand hung limply by his side. But he carried a magnificent, large greatsword. Artorias also appeared to be enveloped in some kind of cloud of darkness. As soon as the fight started, Conan knew that the fact that Artorias was injured did not take away at all from Artorias' powers. He was incredibly fast, could close distance incredibly quickly, and his sword covered a huge amount of ground. He also attempted to buff himself with magic, something that Conan quickly prevented. He thought that if he let Artorias buff and make himself more powerful, it would be very difficult to stop him, and even a single hit from him could end the fight. The fight was quick but brutal. Both combatants taking large and heavy blows at each other and dodging and attacking quickly. In the end, Conan was victorious. He suffered some wounds, but he will live through it. Conan felt a sense of relief and also accomplishment. That had been a tremendous fight and a tremendous opponent. Conan wondered what had happened to Artorias. He was obviously hollowed, and perhaps even somebody's lackey. Could it be that Tuthamon was ruling this place? Conan did not know, but he was very eager to continue exploring and to see if he could finally find his arch enemy, Tuthamon. After finishing Tuthamon, he would be ready to take on his nemesis, Tulsa Doom, Lord Win.